So, should Bryan Legend be replaced as the CEO for Safuu? Well, no, but yes. Here's my thinking. Let's get into it. Welcome, my dearest friends, to Aix-en-Provence in France. What a gorgeous place. So let me just turn my camera and you'll see the little Airbnb, well, at least the pool of the Airbnb that we've come to stay in just tonight. It's gorgeous, little jacuzzi over there and a gorgeous swimming pool. Just had a swim in. And here's our little kind of studio apartment behind. We set off from Tuscany yesterday morning and we stayed last night in San Remo, and here was the beautiful site that we woke up to right across the bay, and now we're in Aix-en-Provence. But on the way we dropped into Monaco, and I've got a special little sequence of Monaco or Monte Carlo madness. Oh my gosh, the riches there are indescribable. So I put it together, a little montage of the best that we saw this morning of both SuperCars and SuperYachts. So if that's your thing, it's coming along soon. So just watch the rest of this video and you'll get it. Now, at this point, I am going to say, as usual, I am not a financial expert. This is not financial advice. So please do your own research. So my friends, this is only going to be a brief video. I always say that, and then my videos end up being about 20 minutes long. But not today, because actually I don't have a lot to say. And I am about a day behind because, of course, yesterday, well, it was yesterday morning for me, I woke up to all of the discussion around what Bryan had, the question that Bryan had posed, which was, should he be replaced as CEO of Safuu? And I was kind of keeping track. We had a travel day yesterday and keeping track of Discord and chaos in there. Not chaos, but a lot of people really concerned what was going on. But I kind of kept abreast of what Bryan was saying. And I kind of thought, shall I put a video up about it? And I just thought, well, it was worth having some commentary on it, because I do have some thoughts on this. We now know that, of course, Bryan isn't stepping down as CEO, but he is posing what I think is a really interesting and important question. Should he be replaced as the CEO of Safuu, and obviously going forward SafuX? Well, here's my thoughts. No, Bryan should not be replaced as CEO, but he should be replaceable. He should be replaceable. And for those of you that were on the impromptu AMA with Bryan on, I think it was the 1st of September, I can't quite remember, I actually posed the question to him because this has been something that's been on my mind for quite some time. If something happened to Bryan, what would happen to Safuu and SafuX? And at the time, he responded by saying, I guess, kind of confirming my fears that at the moment there's no contingencies for Bryan. If something happened to Bryan, God forbid that it did, but if Bryan, something terrible happened to him, or something amazing, that he suddenly walked away from Safuu because he won $1 billion on the lottery or something. Not that he would, but what would happen to Safuu? And he said, well, at the moment we'd kind of be a bit scuppered. He didn't say those words, but they're my words. We'd be scuppered because there isn't currently a plan. And as somebody who's worked in kind of risk management, risk management has been part of my role for quite some time. That's a real concern. But Bryan did reassure us in that AMA that now we're moving to SuperYachts. There are plans being put in place for contingencies if something did happen. So somebody would have the keys of the wallets that we need for Safuu and SuperYachts to continue. So that's allayed my fears a little. Of course, when Bryan posed that question yesterday, I think the last thing on his mind was that he was suddenly going to walk away and leave Safuu. That's not why he was asking it. He was asking it, I think, because of the recent nonsense with Change Now. And we know that with Bryan's name comes a lot of reputational stuff that's been floating around for months and months and months, and a lot of FUD has been caused because of it. It's obviously about his past projects. And as an investor in Safuu and somebody who's looked into it, you know, that's not a thing for me. But it still is for many people, and of course it was for Change Now. And I think Bryan is very concerned that you know, that past reputation that he has may well cause some difficulties for the development of Safuu and SuperYachts going forward. What if partners don't want to come on board because of what they've heard about Bryan in the past? So my response to that, really, and I did write something about this yesterday in Discord, in my view, we do need to sort out the CoinGecko, you know, piece that comes up when somebody looks at Safuu, that this is a risky investment because of blah blah blah. I think we do need to get that removed. I think that's really important. And I also think that my suggestion is that Bryan and the team actually construct a professional company-wide statement that covers off that whole history. You know, that is being very upfront and saying to potential partners, yes, this is in the past and this has happened, clearly explaining that they weren't rug pulls, but they were businesses or projects that didn't work out. But they are in the past, and Safuu and SuperYachts are the future. And I think then presenting that statement to potential partners almost on the first conversation then gets it out of the way. It frames it in a way that Bryan wants it to be framed. And then when they do their due diligence, as they should as potential partners, they're not surprised if and when something comes up. So that's my kind of view on it. It is an important issue that needs to be confronted and managed. I don't know if that's done legally or by a PR firm or by Bryan and the team themselves, but that's my thought on it. So really back to the question in hand, should Bryan be replaced as the CEO? Well, no, we are bought into Bryan. We are bought into Safuu because of Bryan. And this would be a terrible time for him to step down. He's already clarified that's not even a thing, but he's thinking into the future. And actually, come a successful launch of SuperYachts, and perhaps following the first 6 to 12 months of operation, and once it's in a place where Bryan wants it to be, then yeah, why not? And I think there is going to be a time when Bryan will want to step down. He'll want to enjoy what he's earned through Safuu, and I'm pretty sure that he couldn't keep up the rate of work that he currently works at. It's no good for anybody. And at some point he will want to step back and enjoy what he's built. So I think in the long term, yes, Bryan should be potentially replaced as CEO, but clearly now, or even the next 6 to 12 months, is not the time. And again, to repeat, Bryan's message to us is very clear. That's not what he's going to do. He is thinking I think, probably 12 months to 18 months time. So I guess we shouldn't be worried about it, and we should be encouraging Bryan and the team to start making real waves into contingency planning, but also succession planning, because a strong company has a strong succession plan. That's it. So let's get on to the fun bit of this video. I'm going to move because it's so hot. It's like almost 6 o'clock here in the evening and it's so beautifully warm. But let's go over here so I can at least stop turning even pinker. My nose. Ooh. Anyway, so guys, myself and the current Mr. Chalk spent this morning in Monaco, in Monte Carlo. We've been there before, so we kind of expected what to see. But if you haven't been there, and I suspect many of you haven't, please put it on your to-do list. When SuperYachts becomes born and is a successful blockchain, come to Europe and put Monte Carlo on your wish list. And I'm sure many of you are now dreaming of what you might do with your SuperYachts riches. Well, you might have a supercar on your list. I don't know. You might have a super yacht on your list. I don't know. But let me tell you, I saw many of them this morning that are really gonna, I think, tickle your taste buds. So let me just show you what I saw this morning. We were there for about a couple of hours, and look, this is the main square in Monte Carlo, and there's the famous Monte Carlo casino and the hotel just next to it, which is the scene of many, I think, Bond film, and I think Casino Royale was filmed in the casino in this hotel, so it might look familiar to you. But just wandering around, here's some of the beautiful beautiful cars. I'll just put them here. But let me tell you, of all the beautiful supercars that we saw this morning, this is the one that I would pick. It's a beautiful old Porsche, and it was absolutely stunning. And it's funny, there were so many Lamborghinis and Porsche and Mercedes and you know, these huge supercars thundering around. But this is the little car that took many people's interest, and it was beautiful. So that's the one on my shopping list. And of course, the other thing that Monaco is famous for is the Grand Prix. And you can walk or even drive around the track. We've done that previously, so we didn't do that this morning. But this is one of the really famous bends where, you know, gosh, these Formula One cars come thundering round. So I just took a little footage of this bend with a gorgeous couple of cars going around it. Anyway, of course, it's not just supercars, it's super yachts. And we went down to the marina and just had a little poke around. And you know, in Dubai, and what is it? It's about 2 weeks away. We will be going on the super yacht. So this is really good practice for me to, you know, have a look and get used to my surroundings. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to call a halt to this video now. In the next couple of days, we will be visiting with friends, so I probably won't get a chance to record a video. But I did just want to acknowledge, obviously, the price drop. I'm recording this video a few hours after the last couple of sales by Bryan and the team to cover all of the costs. And obviously, I've seen the huge price dip, but we are building back up, which is a great thing to see. I'm just going to say what I always say. We're in this for the long run. This is about SuperYachts. Yes, we want to see the price rise. Let's just wait and see what happens across the next 2 to 3 weeks. But just carry on rebasing and chilling. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you on my next video. But in the meantime, stay Safuu and cheers. Bye for now.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need